going to Ohio, and I have no idea what's going to happen when I get there or why I'm actually going.
Ohio.
That's not entirely true. I'm going to Ohio because of a feeling that I'm supposed to go there or make this movie there. I don't actually know, but we're going to find out. I'm hoping that over the course of this project, we're going to figure out something about life. We may not. I'm not actually going to take this train because I blew most of my budget on other stuff. Let me go back to the beginning. I just want to set the record straight right now. I'm not making fun of Ohio. We're going to find something amazing there. It all started with a phone call from my brother. He said,
"So you made your first video in Paris. You gotta make your second one in Toledo, Ohio."
I do have to admit that made sense to me, Toledo being the opposite of Paris. Not a special place, but the most mundane, average, normal place you can imagine. Wait, what's in Toledo? And he said,
"Nothing, man. We are gonna build it from the ground up."
So that in itself did not strike me as important. But the very next day, I went to see Hearts of Darkness, the documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now.
The film Francis is making is a metaphor for a journey into self.
The script doesn't make sense. I have no ending. I'm like a voice crying out, saying, please, it's not working.
And the entire time I was watching, I kept thinking that 99.9% of the people who ever dreamed of making movies would never have the combination of Coppola's talent, resources, not to mention the insanely cheap Filipino labor that made this kind of epic art movie possible in the first place. So what he said at the end of the movie shocked me.
To me, the great hope is that now these little 8mm video recorders and stuff come around. Some just people who normally wouldn't make movies are going to be making them. And, suddenly one day some little fat girl in Ohio is going to be the new Mozart, and make a beautiful film with her little father's camera recorder. And for once, the so-called professionalism about movies will be destroyed forever, and it'll really become an art form.
It will really become an art form. That blew my mind coming from him, who made some of the greatest movies ever. Also, did you catch it?
A little fat girl in Ohio is...
Then the third Ohio came into my life. At work, I heard and read and wrote and said the word Ohio like 50 times a day for 45 straight business days. And when it was over, they gave me this pin. That must have been the final straw, because I went to bed as I normally do on my floor mattress directly adjoining my girlfriend's bed because I want to sleep intimately in the same room with her, but at the same time I need a full queen-size mattress to sprawl diagonally across or I can't sleep. So, normal night for me, but then abnormally I woke up eating night bread in the kitchen, which I've never woken up before in the middle of sleepwalking or sleep eating. Usually there's just signs the next morning. Then, something truly weird happened.
Ohio.
So that's why I'm going to Ohio. I think I'm supposed to take up Coppola's challenge and make a new kind of movie in the Little Fat Girl of Ohio School of Cinema. Rule number 1, you get no outside funding, but you can do whatever you want. Rule number 2, intuition is the key. You can't know the ending before you start filming. Uh-oh.
Filmmaking, at least for me, wasn't really just a matter of, writing this little script and then doing it as you thought. That your own life and your own experience during the making of it was also a very strong element.
Francis works in a very intuitive way, and whenever you do that, you end up with a problem of having a film at times that is way too long, and a film that doesn't have a really strong narrative line in it.
Solomon, we're going home. You love it. You always love it when we go there. We gotta fly. This is modern life.
I'm only about an hour away from Toledo right now, but I can't say that I feel any different.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow,
huh?
Mom. That was a perfect bowling technique.
I look good, but I'm terrible.
I have landed in Michigan, where I will be staying over the holidays with my parents. It's very weird to be back in my childhood home. My dad just got his hip replaced for the second time, his second hip, so I'm definitely feeling the passage of time, which, it's like the river in Apocalypse Now and in Heart of Darkness, where it only goes one way.
We're getting to the age where every week or two there's somebody that's passing away, and it's kind of creepy, like it just kind of messes with you.
I might be pretty on the outside, but I'm ugly where it counts.
I'm out here in the Michigan suburbs with no car, ranging out for a pack of smokes. I think it's like 16 degrees out right now, and the feels like is too. Every day in the suburbs we have to eat one entire Little Caesars pizza to stay alive. If Apocalypse Now was all about the heat and the jungle, this movie seems to be about the cold and the snow. There's this squirrel that we always say is the reincarnation of my grandfather. Hello, Albert, I love you. Yeah, this must be our friend Squirrel, or he wouldn't be doing this. It's all right, buddy. You're good. You're good.
Okay, I've been here in Michigan for about a week. I finally have access to a car again, so tomorrow we are driving down to Toledo. And honestly, I've been in a bad mood all day. I feel like annoyed by all the members of my family that I love. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. I feel nervous. I showed Amy got here 2 days ago. I showed her what I had so far of this. Did not get a good reaction. Are you ready to go to Toledo, Ohio? I am scared to go to Toledo because this movie's gonna suck. And everyone's gonna know that I suck. Everyone's gonna know that I went to film school and wasted 16 years of my life since then on this bullshit. It's gonna be cold, no one's gonna be outside, no one loves me.
This is what it takes to bring a man to the point that he has to go to Toledo.
Any closing remarks before I cut the camera for a bit?
I'm asking Google about this image. This is a wooden icon depicting the Archangel Michael.
All right, we out here in Toledo. We're going to the Summit Diner. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We made it.
We are here.
December 21st. This has been a long time coming, and we're finally here. Is it any good? Is this interesting? Probably
The
hard.
man is drinking like a whole glass of milk behind you. I'm very interested in his order.
Wow.
This is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having an absolutely delicious breakfast, but I have a hard time believing this is what I've been called here to do. I was called to Toledo, Ohio, and I think it was for more than just biscuits and gravy. But we'll find out. Maybe this will be the highlight. Is this a good movie?
Here, take a drag and we'll see. Oh yeah.
Is this what the people want to see on YouTube?
It's scary to watch someone you love go into the center of himself and confront his fears. Fear of failure, fear of death, fear of going insane.
We've been looking for normalcy and the beauty of the everyday in Toledo, Ohio. And, well, we're still looking, and I figured we would try Walmart.
This project is ruining your life and all of your happiness.
It kind of is. But I do have brief moments where I feel good about it and excited about it.
It's a binge restrict cycle of joy.
Thanks, Donkey. We're looking for the magic in the everyday.
Why don't you let me hold it?
I will.
No, we're not
No,
live.
not live. We are here in a Walmart looking for the beauty of the everyday. And hopefully we find another yodeling kid or something. That would really turn this movie around.
We could ridicule the toys if you want.
Hey, can I help you?
No. Is it okay if I film in here?
No, you're not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
Policy.
I did not know that at all.
What are you doing?
Just my YouTube channel. I'm like brand new to it.
Okay.
Brainhead TV or whatever. This is like my second thing. Sorry about that. Absolutely, we'll stop rolling. Well, as it turns out, you're not allowed to film inside of any Walmart. They were very nice about it, but they asked me to stop filming. They didn't kick me out, which was kind. I'm out here at the shops at Fallen Timbers. The Battle of Fallen Timbers was fought here after the Revolutionary War. They sent militiamen from the United States Army to go fight the Native Americans and try to take control of Ohio. It kind of shows that nobody remembers what happens, and they'll take the site of your massacre and they'll build an outlet mall on it.
No one remembers the failures.
Amy, can you tell me that this project is never going to be as good or meaningful or historic as Apocalypse Now?
This project is never going to be as good or as meaningful or as celebrated as Apocalypse Now.
So, now that we've accepted that this project is never going to be as good or meaningful as Apocalypse Now, maybe we can make something actually good.
Or not. So many of these stores are closed, or like they used to be stores and now they're empty. This one's not. This is a Hallmark store.
All right, let's go.
Our hero has taken a big fall, so now we're going to see if there's any message of hope for our protagonist.
We need a message from God. Here we go. I like you, just so you know. I like your style, your laugh, your heart. I like how you think about life, that you care about people. I really like you a lot. I think you make a great you. Well, not just great, but an awesome you. That's a really good thing, because God only made one you. So you're pretty much it.
Oh my God.
Let's get out of here.
You know what it says? Encouragement to kids.
We're going to the mall in Toledo.
It's definitely a big feature of our exploration here is that half of the retail stores are closed. This is empty.
That is empty. Let's prove your point. Well, I'm aware that Francis Ford Coppola had no idea how his story was going to end when he started filming, but at least he had like kind of characters and a script and like the whole Heart of Darkness novel to go off of, whereas I'm walking around a mall 4 days before Christmas.
Wow. I'm afraid. This actually has scared me more than anything else.
No matter how much society tries, I'll never want this. All right, that's the end of our first day in Toledo, Ohio. It was challenging. It was depressing.
Emotional.
We bickered. I want to say
It's a
though,
normal part of life.
thank you so much for coming with me and like holding my hand on this. My first YouTube outing into the real world. Thank you, Donkey.
You're so welcome, sweetie.
Did we learn anything about life today? Trying to make good things happen, or perfect things, or things as good as a movie is hard.
Honestly, this city has promise. It's a beautiful city.
This is why I secretly brought you here. For the big orb. Thank God for this Christmas hospital. Thank you, my dad's car. I just got back from our first day in Toledo. It's kind of bleak in Toledo in winter, believe it or not. I found myself getting more emotional about this project. And I think Amy kind of raised the idea that by trying to make this art project
I'm looking for the meaning in my own life. I'm 34. Since I was 18 years old, always thought this was my purpose in life. Would Francis Ford Coppola be proud of what we did today? It's hard to imagine he would. Have I turned cinema into a real art form yet? Staring at this GoPro taped to a wall, it's hard to imagine that I have.
What do you know about Toledo, Ohio?
It's a place that you want to go, and it's a place that you're never going to ever want to leave.
It is December 22nd. Amy wanted to go to the Salvation Army, and as we were walking around the Salvation Army, I got myself a couple sick t-shirts, but they had this. It's basically a headlight, a little headlight that you can attach to a cane. I hope it'll fit on my dad's walker, and I think it will be a very funny Christmas gift. And I laugh, but it'll be me one day.
This is incredible.
It's really? Who knew?
Oh
We thought
my
it was
God.
just a gag gift, but it's
Wow.
way.
Sometimes you get my dad a gag gift and it really ends up being the thing.
Where else can you get a major safety device for $4?
The day after Christmas, it's like my third or fourth week working on this project. I don't feel like I'm really any closer to what I set out to do. I guess I'm going back to Toledo. I realized that maybe one of the reasons why the movie had been going so badly was that I was neglecting a key part of Coppola's process, which is improvising with actors to unlock the themes and story of the movie.
What I should do is just shoot for the next 3 weeks irrationally. If I did an improvisation every day between Marlon Brando and Marty Sheen, would I at that time have more magical moments than if I write a structure that then they act? And the answer would be, I'm much better off to do an improvisation every day.
Going back to Toledo again, two great actors, Andrew and Beverly, are meeting us down in Toledo. And today we're going to try to figure out how this movie ends.
Okay, so Marcus, how did you get into filmmaking?
Because I got into music. Started off doing like recording, audiovisual production, live events. I mean, live events always have video.
What has been the highest high of your career as an artist?
I'd probably say working in New York. I interned with this guy named Mike Ashby. He did Cardi B's Bodak Yellow. Dude's a genius. So you have the ones that you kind of like, you put up on like a little bit of a pedestal. Sometimes like they're really cool and dope, and then but they're just all people, and they're people who just care passionately.
So we are here at our studio space for our day of filming with the actors and feeling a little anxiety because we can't get in here. Amy is suggesting we shoot out here. Yeah, you think that's gonna be good? Here's the movie so far.
Here, grab it.
So Coppola
Thank
in
you.
Ohio.
Can't say that I really feel like we found anything meaningful or significant. So that's why you guys are here today, is to help me figure out how do we end this movie. I have a couple like simple improv ideas. Maybe you'll say that these are too silly, maybe you'll say whatever, but let's see what we got.
You're wearing a purple sweater.
I'm wearing a purple sweater.
You're wearing a purple sweater.
I'm wearing a purple sweater.
You're wearing a purple sweater.
I'm wearing a purple sweater.
You're wearing a purple sweater.
Do you feel connected to each other?
Yeah, in moments. Yeah. Homer.
What is that?
It's my dreams.
Dream.
That's rude.
Nobody should dream. Hi, what you doing, son?
Just doing some script work, just for a YouTube video that I'm shooting with a guy in Toledo.
Oh, wasting your time again, huh?
I'm sorry, like, it's not all about you telling the other moms at the PTA what your son is doing. Oh, sorry, he's a failed actor. Who gives a shit?
Uber Eats, you've got to be kidding. That is not a career.
I want to try something where we're going to switch it up a little bit. I've got a surprise activity. You will be feeling these potatoes, but not just these potatoes, an endless amount of potatoes until Andrew can come up with a climax for this movie that is satisfying and entertaining.
This movie that we're in?
This movie that we're in right now. And Beverly, you are to goad him, you are to bully him, you are to do whatever it takes to get out of this potato hell.
And I haven't been able to think of anything, and it's driving me up a wall. And I feel like I'm failing. I feel like I'm failing the director.
Just give him an ending, and if he doesn't like it, he'll think of another one.
Maybe I'll kill myself with this potato peeler.
How about the big production number? You know, they used to end movies with the big song and dance routine, and then, you know, people would do the chorus line.
I don't know. I don't know how to dance. Have you ever thought about what would happen if we stopped peeling these potatoes? Or if we just walk away?
So, is that the ending?
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Just walk away.
That's very interesting. Because maybe he has already found the ending and he doesn't know it yet.
And I'm feeling like a idiot, having set in motion stuff that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't match.
You take the others who were made to think but who can't act. You take... I swallowed a bug.
Why'd you do that?
It's a spider.
Now it doesn't exist anymore.
Now what are you doing?
I'm just giving it a proper rest.
Oh my God.
Like, why do we have to spend $150, $200 just to like exist and have fun for it? Like, why can't we just go out and have a picnic on the beach and look for the Loch Ness Monster?
Beverly, could you tell me about the most beautiful day of your life?
Most beautiful day of my
You
life.
can keep your eyes closed. I want you to try to relive it as much as possible and to see it and to feel it.
Arizona, when I first glimpsed the Grand Canyon and saw its majesty and the colors.
Can I ask you the same thing? What was the most beautiful day of your life?
Probably when I spent a day in Krakow, Poland. It's probably the most beautiful city I've seen. It was a few days after me and Claire got engaged, so we were still high off that. We followed it up the next day by one of the most depressing days of my life, which was going to Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, which is like an hour from there. So there was a big contrast there, so it made me kind of appreciate the beauties in life.
Now, tell yourself the story of the saddest day of your life.
The saddest day?
I'm sorry to ask you to go there, but we're gonna mind the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell me what it is.
Okay.
I can't.
You can. It's
I can't.
okay. Just feel it. Just feel it. Just feel it.
It might be a hard place to go, but I was thinking one of us is kind of like in a state that we kind of prepare ourselves that we're like, 10 out of 10 sad. It's very taxing emotionally, and it's hard to do it in front of people you've never met, but I think that's kind of where we have to go.
I love it, dude. If you think you can go there, do you want to take a couple minutes alone, or sit here, or?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you today? You don't look so good. You're not enjoying that anymore, are you? It's okay. It's just... What do you need from me?
Just accept me for who I am and what I want to do.
I don't want you to be crying and throwing potatoes or being, maybe you should try it.
What does Ohio represent to you?
I don't know if this is kind of cheesy to say, but it's like the heart of America. It's people in Ohio know that there's the jokes about it. I mean, people do take a little offense to it, but people kind of take it in straight, like they take the good with the bad, if that makes sense. Like
Since I've been acting, I've been in so many little corners of Ohio. We have countryside, we have the Amish community, we have the lakes, we have parks, we have culture, we have like lots of sports and museums, and we're really so diverse, and we should appreciate that.
Dude,
thanks for having us.
Beverly, thank you so much.
Nice working with you.
Are you rolling on this? I need hugs on camera for closure. Dude,
It was an honor to work for you.
Dude, you as well. You both really brought it, and I know this was fucking weird and at times stupid and forced, but you guys, I needed you and I needed your help. So thank you so much.
You did? Well, I hope we helped you.
Honestly, no, the video is good. I'm not just saying that, just bullshitting. It's like, it's obvious you know how to make, a good video. So I'm not just saying that.
Thank you, dude. It's a wrap on our actors. Thank you, Creative Space. I just got done, and then I found that my car keys weren't with me, and they were sitting on the seat of the car the entire time unlocked. So thank you, Toledo, for not stealing my car. Oh my God.
It's just about midnight on January 10th. I got back from Toledo today, where I worked doing improvisation with my actors to figure out the ending of this movie. I probably could have cut together a story and tied it all up and had that be the end of it. But I just have this feeling that something is unfinished. I think improvising with the actors must have shaken something loose in my brain, because the very next day I was zoned out in the shower and it struck me like a diamond bullet. How to find the ending of this movie. Let me explain. If I find Kurtz, I find the ending. How do I know? So, if you've never seen Apocalypse Now, it's a one-of-a-kind experience. It's the story of Captain Willard, played by Martin Sheen, as he travels across the Vietnam War to find and assassinate Colonel Kurtz, a formerly great American commander who has now gone insane and started committing atrocities against both sides.
I watched a snail crawl along the edge of a straight razor.
Very obviously, he has gone insane.
It's based on Heart of Darkness, the 1899 novel about steamship Captain Marlowe, who must travel up the Congo River to find and retrieve Mr. Kurtz, a formerly great ivory trader who has now gone insane and started rampaging across the African countryside at the head of an indigenous tribe that now worships him as a god. So between the novel and the movie, almost everything has changed, except we have a protagonist traveling by river to find Kurtz, and also the horror. But I won't talk too much about that because it's kind of a spoiler. So it only makes sense that my metafictional YouTube documentary about Ohio can't end until I find and confront my own Kurtz. The only question is, who is that? Could it be my younger brother who set this whole film in motion?
Like a snail crawling across the edge of a straight razor.
Could it be my father who set my entire life into motion?
I watched a snail crawling along the edge of a straight razor and surviving.
Could it be my older brother who loves Apocalypse Now and kind of did the best in these auditions?
It struck me like a diamond bullet when I saw those arms, those little arms, all piled up. The courage of those men. If I only had 1,000 men like that, I could conquer this whole country. Maybe just one battalion.
All right, let's cut it.
That's great.
None of them were quite right, but I do think I'm onto something here. I've only got about a week before I have to finish filming this movie and go back to New York, so I think desperate times are calling for desperate measures. There's one more thing I can try.
They set up this hotel room, and Marty decided to have a few drinks, and they rolled the cameras without telling him what to do.
That opening sequence was shot on my 36th birthday, August 3rd. And I was so drunk I couldn't stand up, frankly. I was so intoxicated I didn't realize how close to the mirror I was. And I said, no, I want to have this out right here and now. It had to do with facing my worst enemy, myself. I fought him like a tiger. It was real hard for me to reveal myself.
Tomorrow I'm going back to Toledo, Ohio for the last time.
Audible Inc. presents Heart of Darkness, narrated by Kenneth Branagh.
Got about 2 hours before I can check into my hotel room.
I'm walking around the Toledo Zoo in January in the rain, listening to the Heart of Darkness audiobook.
How did I get here?
I'm finally going to do what I was too afraid to ask my actors to do. Check myself into a hotel room with a bottle of whiskey and lock myself in until I have an ending for this movie. Okay. The other thing I knew I needed was a water buffalo that I could sacrifice with a machete. I think I found a workaround though. Now, the one thing is that Martin Sheen, was like badly an alcoholic. I don't really drink at all, so it's gonna be really hard for me to get this whole thing down, but let's see what we can do. Lots of ice. It's a big pour. To the end. My only friend. The end. I couldn't actually afford the rights to the song The End by The Doors, which is what's playing during the climax of Apocalypse Now, but I put it on in my headphones on loop to try to catch the vibe. And the more I drank and listened to The Doors, the more I decided I was just gonna act like the way I imagined the singer Jim Morrison used to act, and that was when I really started to get somewhere with all of this. I was getting paranoid, but at the same time I knew he was out there, watching me. You're never gonna make a movie as good as Apocalypse Now. You can't even direct this fucking scene, right? And you're the only actor in it. My name is Aaron Pryka. I'm a 34-year-old artist with nothing to show for it.
My name is Aaron Pryka. I'm a hairless, 34-year-old artist with nothing to show for it. I have no wife, no children, no home, and I've never even owned a car, and it's starting to feel like I never will.
What I do have are 6 unproduced screenplays. A novel I spent 2 years writing that nobody bought.
So why do I think I have any actual talent? Why do I think I can make a new kind of movie? This movie sucks. You suck.
Must have that Kurtzian other side in him.
And I was so drunk I couldn't stand up, frankly. It had to do with facing my worst enemy, myself.
So here you are, on one hand, trying to aspire to really do something. On the other hand, you're not allowed to be pretentious.
You have to fail a little, die a little, go insane a little to come out the other side.
And it's very hard to talk about these things without being very corny. You use a word like self-purgation or epiphany. Those are the words for the process, this transmutation.
You're stinky. You're never gonna find me. The real secret ending of this movie, Aaron Colonel Kurtz. Everyone is gonna be so bored. This isn't some new kind of movie. It's just you making a vlog, like a loser in your daddy's car. This movie doesn't have an ending because it doesn't have a story to begin with. Do you really think people are gonna wanna watch you wandering around Toledo, Ohio? This movie sucks. You suck. Bruh. The horror. The horror.
think that's it. It has been a very long night here in Toledo. I finished shooting last night around 4 a.m. and then I woke up at 7:30 to start filming the sunrise. So all I have is cold chili dogs from, I forget the name of the place, but I've got about 2 hours to drive to this great waterfall that Andrew the actor recommended, and I'm very tired. Now I'm going back to where it all started, the Summit Diner. Seems like a fitting place to have a final meal before I drive on into the heart of Ohio. Seems like there's a storm coming.
The night did not seem to last an hour before we proudly managed to nurse her.
Nobody tells you this, but if you're making stop-motion animations about Ohio, these rest stops are a gold mine for materials.
Other dark blue feet. He cried in a whisper at some image, at some vision. He cried out twice, a cry that was no more than a breath. The horror. The horror. I have survived.
I'm in a town called Elyria. It has been a long journey to get here, but it's really a beautiful place. Ooh, we're in an entirely new vibe of Ohio. I think the takeaway from this project, if there is one, is that if you feel something calling you, you owe it to yourself to answer. Don't doubt yourself. Listen to that thing you don't fully understand. For me, it was making this insane movie about Ohio. I don't know what it is for you, but go for it. Life is short, and you don't have to know the ending to get started.
Oh, the hail is falling over the river. Feels like I'm the only soul out here. Well, guys, looks like that's the end of my trip to Ohio. The rain has just turned into snow. I've got about a 3-hour drive back. I slept about 2 hours last night, so wish me luck. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.